So the last 10 years of genetic research has been phenomenal. We've made huge advancements. But if you imagine this ocean, right? And there's loads of fish in there, maybe there's some algae, maybe there's some, a can floating in, what have you. We're just at the surface of this ocean. I guess one of the challenges about depression is something we call heterogeneity. And what that means is that your depression is different from my depression, which is different from your colleague's depression. There's so many different symptom combinations that will give you enough of experiences of mental health problems that you would reach diagnoses. So for example, maybe you experience a one-off case of depression that emerges after a really troubling time in your life. But for your sibling, they constantly have these chronic symptoms of depression across life. So maternal depression is essentially this experience of depression that happens to mothers during pregnancy or after the child is born. As part of this study, what I've done is I've calculated something called a polygenic score. This score is a sum of the bits of DNA that any individual has that is associated with mental health problems. I think one of the best ways that I try to understand how a polygenic score works is you think about a cup, right? And we all start in life with our DNA. It's there from birth, right? It doesn't change. And that's kind of like our cup. How many pebbles, how many rocks do we have in that cup? Once you tip over the brim, the edge of that cup, that's when you experience a mental health problem. Well, some people are born with a cup that's basically empty. They can experience a lot of environmental stressors before they reach the edge of that cup and tip over. But for some people, their cup is nearly full. They may be more at risk to experiencing mental health problems because it just takes a few environmental stressors to really tip them over. So I calculated polygenic scores in 25,000 mothers, their partners, and their children. I think what surprised us so much about these research findings is that up until now, we really used to think that a person's environment is really largely influenced by the experiences that they have and then the genetics that they bring to that environment. But we've never really thought about how partners and children even, how their genetics can influence a mother's environment. The risk of mental health in your child can maybe influence how easy it is to soothe that child, how easy it is to parent that child, and that can also influence your own mental health. I think that can give us new avenues for treatment as well. Extra support to partners will not only improve their mental health, but it will improve their ability to support their partners. It will also improve the child's mental health. But if you imagine this ocean, genes is just one part of it. There's also environments. I mean, where is this ocean in the world, right? Anything that we're interested in is really this complex interaction and this relationship between genetics and environments.